Bam. Hello.
Good job.
Yeah, we got this. We pros at this now. Good evening. Come one, come all. Hear ye, hear ye. Welcome to the show. This is episode 47. Good Lord.
I know, right? And we've been consistent for the last 4.
Week. No, last week. We didn't go
Oh,
live last week.
yeah. No, we went live last week,
Week
the week
before that.
before. Yeah, I was in the field, working in the field, which sounds like I was picking cotton, which I was not, or that I was whoring, which I wasn't doing that either.
I was going with the latter, but okay.
But I was working in the field.
Okay. Well,
My fault. That 1 week. 1 week
1 week.
was my fault.
Your fault. Okay. Oh, I see what you're trying to go. I see what you did there. Anyway, welcome. This is episode 47. See what had happened was. I'm Trey Chocolate Jock.
I'm Alex Dupree.
And here we go. This will be a special show because we have I don't know if you checked this out last week. I was trying to tell Alex about this guy, how he invented this formula that basically is immune boosting and it suggests healing. So we'll talk about this because she was a little skeppy last week.
I was hella skeppy, no, a little.
Yeah. Then so I have the guy on tonight.
Can I just say I think it's extra cute that you call it skeppy?
Yeah. It was a little skeppy.
Yeah.
A little skep. Yeah. So we'll talk about that. Coming up, Mr. Dupree, how was your week? What's going on? Any special things happening?
Week was good, but I think I have a public service announcement for the masses.
All right.
And it's because there are 3 hours of my life that I will never, ever get back. Might have been more than 3 hours because had to restart. Do not, and I repeat, do not waste your life and watch The Batman.
Oh, tell me about that.
Don't do it. The new Batman movie, trash.
Now, it's big trash. It's trash. Huh?
It's trash. Now, we like to support our girl Zoe. So if you just want to, see it, but it was straight trash. First of all, Robert Pattinson, who is
that's who Batman is?
That's the new Batman. Now, he was one of the Twilights. Remember, like the vampires?
Okay.
Back in the whatever movie. Okay, so first of all.
Oh, wait. Okay, got you. The werewolf things.
The vampire. Remember, it was like from the books. It was a big series and thing. Okay, so he was the main character, and so now this is all these years later. He's a grown man, and he's whatever, and he's been chosen as the Batman, and it is whack. First of all, he's not good looking. He can't get it. Like,
okay, so does all Batman have to get it?
Yes.
Okay. Michael Keaton. Could Michael Keaton get it?
Back then, yeah, he could. I like old men. And
Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer could get it.
Top Gun Val Kilmer?
Batman Val Kilmer.
I have blocked that out of my memory that actually ever happened.
Okay.
Was he ever a Batman? George Clooney.
George Clooney was no. Well, wait.
Val was not. Val was something else.
Val Kilmer was Batman. I know that for sure.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. What are you saying, babe? Was he? They were both Batman.
Yeah, I remember that.
I mean, Val. We make exceptions. We'll make exceptions for Val.
Okay.
He's not on anybody's.
Christian Bale. Christian Bale.
All day long.
Yeah, get it.
Twice at night.
Who else? How about for gits and shiggles? How about Christian Bale? I mean, not Christian Bale. Heath Ledger, the Joker.
Yeah, when he was a little kid, I call him a little kid. When he was in his 20s and stuff, like coming up, I saw he was young, but as he got like older and like embraced his manhood, yeah. But he went crazy.
Heath Ledger.
Like legit, he went to like into that method acting when he was playing the Joker.
Yeah.
And he was on other types of he was on drugs. This is, me not slandering his name. He was on some type of depression and all types of drugs. But he went crazy because he went down the rabbit hole of that character. And you know, when you method act, it's like they say a lot of times during the whole time you're in production, you don't break character. So if you're a villain that you're playing, like you're a dick on the scene when you go to the craft services table, you know, you're like, you know, it's like you're always in that character. And so it kind of took over his life is how it is.
Wow. How did he die again? What happened with him?
Drugs.
They found him dead or something like that?
Yeah, drugs.
In Chicago, right?
No, Heath Ledger, you talk no.
Right.
No, I think he was in a New York apartment.
Oh, when they found him dead. Okay. Yeah. He was believable. My goodness, he was believable as
because he went crazy legitimately.
He like embodied that role. For real.
Yeah. But yeah, don't watch it. Don't do it. Don't watch it. Don't do it. Don't do it. So it was like
so give me the difference between the Batman and all of the other 12 Batmans that they've made.
Well, they tried to make this one a little more film noir. And if anyone knows what that statement means,
film noir.
If you don't, just very dark. Like literally the shots are dark. Like you can barely see their shadows. It's not well lit like we are well lit right now. It's just very dark. Also kind of has like a kind of a slower syrupy feel as to how the scenes unfold. Another difference with this one is apparently way back, like comics and stuff, Batman was like the world's best detective. That was one of the things they would use as a tagline in the comics. And so this movie showed more of his detectiving skills. But the dude was doing like a voiceover just too long. He voiced over. There were 2 sections where he was just talking and talking and talking. And I felt like all of the stereotypes when there's misogynistic men that are like, women, you talk too much. Say it in 50% less words. Because they always say women have more vocabulary, they use more words to say something. Men are just said and done. And I wanted him to shut up. I felt like I was turning into a very misogynistic man. Just like, say it in 50% less words. You're talking too much. Yeah, it bothered me to no end. It was so bad. We fell asleep on it, tried to restart it, and then it false ended like 7 times. The movie was 3 hours long, and there were 90 minutes that could have been cut out.
So what are they? So I guess these Batman movies are like Jordans. Like you keep recreating the same thing, and
it's a franchise, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so this was just another perspective. It wasn't a prequel or anything like that. He was
just a different perspective. They did some bull up in there that they hadn't done in any other Batmans, where Batman's Bruce Wayne's parents were always like squeaky clean and upstanding elite citizens. They did try to throw some shade on his dad, saying his dad wasn't particularly the Boy Scout he thought he was, and his mama was crazy, and that's why he's crazy. They try to do a little something different. But anyway, don't waste your time. And while you're talking about these franchises, Spider-Man No Way Home finally got around to seeing that one. Yeah, I could have saved that time in my life too. I could have been on my rower.
What's the difference? For a run. So what's the difference between this one?
The Spider-Man?
Yeah.
They were reaching, and it felt like they had no more stories to tell. So what they did was they brought back old actual Spider-Man it was the multiverse. So when Tobey Maguire played and Andrew Garfield played, we got a new dude playing now, the dude that's dating Zendaya. Tom Holland. So they brought back the old ones, like a spell was cast and it opened up all the universes. So they came back, but then the old villains came back. So we saw Jamie Foxx, we saw Doc Ock, we saw the Green Goblin. It fell forced.
So what villain was Jamie Foxx?
Electro?
Because I don't watch those movies.
He was Electro.
Oh wait, hold on. I asked out the wrong person.
He was Electro.
Okay.
So he played with Electro.
And which movie? Because I'm not into those sci-fi action.
I think he was an Andrew Garfield villain. So Tobey Maguire was the first of like the new reboots. And I think Tobey Maguire was with Kirsten Dunst, the Upside Down Kiss.
Okay.
The Upside Down Kiss. And then it moved on to our Andrew Garfield. But yeah, Jamie Foxx is one of them.
Gotcha. Okay.
So those were the two big movies that are out now. And you really don't have to waste your time on either.
Okay. Yeah. Because, I have to have an interest in it. And the last Batman movie I saw was the one with the Joker in it, with Heath Ledger. So
that was good, though. I would think that would make you want to watch another.
Yeah.
And it didn't. Okay.
Before we get to our guests for tonight, real quick, and this really doesn't, faze me. Elon Musk, he bought Twitter. Do we really care? Does it affect us? Does it?
Why does he want it?
$42 billion, though. I mean,
44, I thought it was.
Okay, $44 billion. Okay. Is Twitter worth that much?
I don't think so.
I'm hot. Let me cut my fan on. Keep going.
Woo, I don't think so. I don't know what he wants it for. I mean,
well, you can't. I mean, it has tons of advertisements on there. There's
the possibility of who you can reach with your message, like whatever your message is, or your multiple messages in your platform.
Okay. And he's basically like, anybody could get on there and say whatever they want to say now. Does it matter? I mean,
I don't know. So that's the question. I don't know if he's going to open up some of these restrictions that have started to be put in place for social media, because that is a big thing that has happened with Twitter over the past couple of years. They have tried to stop the trolling, stop the negative speech, the hate speech.
Wonder will our boy get back on now?
They said he has said he is not going to, that he's only going to post to his Truth platform, because, he started his own social media platform.
Right.
But other insiders say he loved being on Twitter just way too much. So he going to come back.
Okay. All right.
Not that, I don't know. I don't know that we care. We'll see how it affects. We'll see what happens it's going to take like another election and lies and algorithms and all that stuff that happened to Facebook for us to see.
And the internet has gone crazy with it now, because he just literally tweeted out, Elon Musk just tweeted out, next I'm buying Coca-Cola so we could put the cocaine back in it. He literally.
No, that is a hack.
Listen, that was not a burner.
What?
That came from his account. Yes. That came
from a hack. I refuse.
It is not a hack. I'm trying to tell you.
Did he put a LOL?
No. Here it is right here. Can you see this? I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
Do you see that? Next, I'm buying Coca-Cola.
Oh, God.
Put the cocaine back in.
Oh, God.
That came from Elon Musk. Now, I know he's joking. I hope he's joking. I hope he's joking. Let's just assume he's joking.
I don't follow him. So now look what just happened. Look what just happened.
What?
Maybe follow him.
Oh, yeah, you're going to have to.
Yeah, I just did.
He's the founder and owner and proprietor of Twitter. So there it is.
Okay.
TreyandAlexx.com. Don't forget, we do have a website. You guys can log on and check out past episodes. You can see little baby pictures of Alex and myself, just a bio of ourselves, and you can just find out all about both of us on our website. That's TreyandAlexx.com. Bow! Right there, down there. TreyandAlexx.com. All right. All right, let's get to our guest for tonight, Dr. Tony Nora, who joins us. He is the inventor of this immune boosting formula I was going to tell you about. And he also has this new treatment, and he's about to start selling like alkaline water. This guy is doing so much stuff here. Dr. Tony Nora is in the building. How's it going, sir?
Good evening. How y'all doing?
All right. Pretty good.
Hi, Dr. Tony Nora. Welcome.
How you doing? Thank you.
All right. So last week, Alex was telling me, let me just paint this picture for you. Last week, Alex was telling me about her health issue. She had gotten the vaccine,
right?
And every now and then she'll go into anaphylactic shock,
right?
And so she was just telling me about her episode, and it made me think about you. I was like, hey, I just met this guy who invented this formula that, he's helped a woman like reverse her she was going blind and reversed her eyesight to now she can see better. And these people are on his Facebook page. They're providing these testimonials, et cetera, et cetera. And Alice is like, yeah, right. Like, man, of course, you're going to find one believer before, you break down what it is you do and how your formula works or whatever. Right. But she's one of your, I definitely wouldn't call her a hater. She's definitely one of the she's initially skeppy of what you got going on here.
Dr. Nora, I am from the west side of Chicago. You grow up not trusting from the jump.
Of course.
I mean? You need to see some stuff. You trust in Jesus. But other than that, you kind of need some supporting facts.
You need some evidence.
Right.
So, Tony, if you can, man, just tell us first from the beginning, because you have an interesting story. If you can just give us how you started this whole health journey and what was happening with you and what inspired you to begin this entire thing here.
Right. So I started off initially. I had a flesh and bone eating disease called coccidioidomycosis. The disease deteriorates the flesh, eat through the bones. I'm just kind of running through this, but they gave me 24 hours to live twice, and there was no cure for the disease. And I was able to eradicate the disease by understanding my body. So when I went back to the doctors, they was like, there's no trace of the disease in your body. This is before I really started going intricately into studying quantum physics, neuroscience, genetics, everything. And so from that point on, I really started extensively studying every single day, 13 hours a day, studying phytomedicine, like I said, genetics, neuroscience, quantum physics, anything respiratory, the whole 9 yards. And my initial person that I first started with, it was a friend of, well, take that back. They had me on Vicodins taking, I don't know if I told you this or not, but they had me taking 30 Vicodins a day. And my body had grown addicted to Vicodins. So I started initially studying on how to recalibrate the brain. So I did on my brain what I call a homeostasis recalibration of the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus is, you got in the brain, you have the thalamus, the hypothalamus. The word hypothalamus means under the thalamus. And then you have the pituitary gland. The pituitary gland is the master gland that regulates the homeostasis balance of the body. Your heart, your body temperature, your eyes blinking, the autonomic part of your body. So what I did is I learned how to recalibrate my brain to start running from alpha waves to beta waves, and beta waves started 9 hertz and gamma waves started 40 hertz. So what I did is I did a recalibration of the brain, factory reset basically, and I stabilized myself and I got completely off the pills. That's what I did for me. Then I had a friend, she's 80-year-old Caucasian lady. She had a cancer in her head, squamous. So she was asking me, Tony, what can you do for this? So I created a formulation. First, I got a blood type because blood type matters. Mm-hmm. Then I was able to create a formulation to encourage her body to heal and her hair to grow like in 3 weeks. Her squamous cancer had completely left after that. And then I was off to run and just started understanding, how to, the difference between ethnic groups, how diseases choose individuals based off their people say, well, how can a disease choose you? Well, sickle cell choose mostly Black people or people of you. Celiac disease choose mostly Caucasian. Celiac disease, where they say that I need a gluten-free this and a gluten-free that. That is a celiac. That is a Caucasian Western Hemisphere disease. So then I started understanding how Caucasians have a different set of issues. The Neanderthals from the Neanderthal Valley, the red hair and the freckles have a totally different set of issues. And the people of hue that we call Black people, we have a totally different set of issues. And I started creating formulations to customizing formulation to maximize the healing to individual bodies. And I started running, man. I had, a female in Colleen, she was blind, 30 days, she got her sight back. And just, I don't know if you remember me talking to the lady called Miss Lily Butler the other day when I was in the station. You remember the lady?
Yes.
She called me today, and I didn't know she had the issue of glaucoma. Well, she don't have glaucoma anymore, and she was using the formulation. She called me today and told me how OP has went down to, she said, 13 in one eye and 14 in the other. And 21 is when you glaucoma, you go into glaucoma. And her doctor was questioning her about what does she do. And she's completely, her eyes is completely well now.
Okay. Okay. So let's go back on how you first started making this formula, like your because I know your backstory is amazing, because you were incarcerated for a number of years.
11 years.
Say that again.
11 years.
Incarcerated for 11 years. And throughout that time, while you were incarcerated, you were studying up on this stuff. You had knowledge and books and that type of stuff that was available for you. So expound on that if you could. Just
when I was incarcerated, I never. First of all, I've never watched a game of sports in my life. Basketball, football. Everybody, how about the Cowboys? I don't even know a Cowboy player. You know, I just never have watched a game of sports in my life first. So when I was incarcerated, all I did, I never played a game of dominoes, and I've never played a game of basketball or football. So when I was incarcerated, all I did was study, and more study. And that's how I was able to accumulate a wealth of knowledge. But again, I studied more than phyto, naturopathic. I studied some of everything, psychology, you know, all of that, but really in depthly the phyto medicine. It's herbal. Phyto is genetics of plants, and you got naturopathic, homeopathic. Even my certification, I studied first. I had no certification at first. I studied for 13 years, like I said, 13 hours a day and all that. And when I went online to the Harvard, I did it in one day. They thought I cheated because I memorized the entire brain, the pituitary gland, the pons, the cerebellum, the hippocampus, the entire brain, and exactly what it does. And I just passed the Harvard test. Then a few days later, I did the homeopathic class. I did it in one day, and it was a 1.5-year course because I memorized all this stuff. I've been studying for years. Yeah.
Alex, I'm sure you have tons of questions. Please let her rip.
I mean, I do. You know, Trey speaks of this formula, and what is the formula? Is it in liquid form? Is it? Oh, okay. Here we go now with the bottle. So is it pills? Is it what is it?
Well, the formulation is a proprietary formulation, but let me start here first. A lot of people use turmeric. I'm sure you're familiar with turmeric.
I got some right over there in the cabinet. They told me to get it.
What kind you got?
I don't know. The yellow and orange guy.
That's not the right one for you.
Oh.
The thing is, we don't realize there's 133 species of turmeric.
No, we don't.
Have you ever heard of ginger?
Yeah, I've heard of ginger.
There's 1,600 different types of ginger.
Did not know that.
Have you ever heard of sea moss?
Yes, sea moss.
Which one is best? If you heard the best, Irish sea moss. You're not Irish, so we shouldn't use Irish sea moss.
Well, I am.
Well, maybe you are.
Irish.
Okay.
but yes, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
What a person of hue should be using is wild-crafted African sea moss.
Okay.
Most of us never even heard of it. Food is medicine, and we all don't have the same medical needs. And food is a GMO. Every climate has a different soil base. And the word GMO stands for genetically modified organism. A genetically modified organism, or organism modified genetically to complement an individual needs. So it's not a one size fit all. If you eat someone else's food, you're eating someone else's medicine.
Interesting.
Yeah, you don't see a grizzly bear and a polar bear eating the same stuff.
So what do we do that there are not as many people that are just one single ethnicity anymore? I am everything but Asian. So does it go by what majority is?
Absolutely. Majority of the time, if you are primarily a person of hue, and I say hue, H-U-E is color, hue man. So if you're primarily a person of hue, you should go more to the a non-meat diet.
What? Because I'm vegetarian. I'm winning.
You're in the right place. Caucasians came from the Caucasus Mountains. Neanderthals came from the Neanderthal Valley. Totally different climate, totally different environment. And Caucasians make more stomach acid than the people of hue. We people of hue, we're like an elephant, a gorilla, a rabbit. We make our own proteins, and we don't make enough stomach acid to digest animal protein.
That's right. I don't digest it well. That's why I had to stop.
We don't digest it because we don't make enough stomach acid. It's just like giving an elephant some. If you give an elephant some meat, he's gonna die from toxicity. But if you give a lion or a tiger some herbs, he's gonna die from deficiency.
Pink Oracle Holmes, we're gonna get to your questions in a second. I see him, and he's gonna answer them in the questions. I'm sorry, Tony. Go ahead. You continue.
But yeah, but it's not a one size fit all with the diet. Everyone's dietary needs is totally different. And we have DNA testing now to where we can be able to, we personally, and there's other people that have DNA testing to where you can tailor make your diet, tailor make formulations to complement your genetic needs and to maximize your healing capacity. So we can do tests against certain foods to see if you have adverse reactions, and then you'll know exactly what you're supposed to be eating.
So your philosophy is, if you are eating naturally, right, according to your historical ethnicity, meaning, location, local foods, and grown in local environments, that is the food for you. That was your origins. And your things can be healed naturally. Right.
But you got to think, do you ever, be honest with yourself, do you ever see an Asian person in an emergency room? I'll wait.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, Dr. Nora, I am not in the emergency room often.
Okay.
So I mean,
we rarely see Pakistanians, Iranians, and Asians in the emergency room. We just don't see it because they're eating what they're supposed to be eating. Again, food is medicine, and we don't all have the same medical needs. Like when people say, "Oh, we need a vitamin C rich meal." Well, if my body's making vitamin C, the gulo gene is working properly. There's a gene in your body responsible for making vitamin C. So if the gulo gene is working in me, I don't have a deficiency of vitamin C. So if I take something that I don't need, then I toxify my body. I go into overdose. I don't need vitamin D if my body's making vitamin D. I don't need melatonin if my body's making it. So there's not a one size, person. I use some elderberry. Well, what worked for you may not work for the next person. Again, because there's many, many different species of that as well.
Okay.
Vitamin D, there's two different types of vitamin D. There's many species of 30,000 different bees, 300 different honeys in America. So you have to know exactly what you're using.
Now, Trey, before we get to these questions, because I'd love to get the questions going. So you talking about ethnicity. What about sex and gender? So just one thing, over time, women tend to suffer from osteoporosis, osteoarthritis, and things like that as they get older. So is there something that also correlates not just with ethnicity, but also gender and sex?
So good question. So back in the 70s and 80s, before you got married, you used to have to take a blood test.
Yeah, I don't know you did.
You remember that?
Okay. I remember. Yeah.
Okay. That was to make sure there was genetic compatibility, to make sure you wouldn't have sick children. But now the hospital figured sick person, job security to the hospital, that's an asthma pump, that's this and this. Let them marry who you want to marry. Now just imagine if we take, in the bird family, there's carnivores and there's herbivores that only eat plants. There's a bird called a nene bird. Now the nene bird only eat herbs, plants, and grass. Then you got the hawk and the buzzard. Say we crossbreed these two and they have offspring. What would you? Now the hawk and the buzzard digestive system is made to eat meat. The nene bird and other birds' digestive system is only meant to eat herbs and plants. So if you make these two animals have offspring, you have genetic confusion.
Because that's me. I'm genetic confusion all over the place. This is the face of it.
Do you know that to be true?
These are facts. 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 These are facts
Oh no, I'm saying she just said genetic confusion.
I'm just saying I am the product of love.
Well, I'm just saying that terminology is something when I created, but genetic confusion, meaning it causes an instability and a polarity. You got unipolar, multipolar, non-polar, and you got bipolar. People who have instability and polar. I'm not saying you're bipolar, but I'm just saying, but it can cause a person to have. It's just like a shark. Say we get a shark and a dolphin. Now we know a dolphin by personality is friendly. Most. We know a shark is more aggressive. You mix those two, then you have confusion. The dolphin don't know whether they're going to bite you, lick you, do tricks, or what they want to do. Because you have to remember, not only do your physical attributes pass down through the DNA, your memory, you pass genetic memory down. That's why you look at a dog and say, this is an aggressive breed, that's a gentle breed, or so on and so, because personalities is passed down through the DNA. So if your mom passed down a certain attitude through a certain lineage of people, then the dad passed on, then you have instability and a polarity, or what people call bipolar.
And so I guess I'm saying that. So should a Mexican have a baby with a black person or a Caucasian and a
Absolutely not.
Okay, and why do you say that? This is
because all the children will have some type of whether it's asthma, psoriasis, diabetes type of 1. The child is going to have some type of issues.
Well, so let me challenge that, Dr. Nora. Not just because I am the product, but usually, I know I'm a human and I am not a canine, but usually mutts, dogs, they have less problems, fewer problems than purebred dogs. Purebred dogs will, from hip issues to whatever, all the issues, there will be the ones that if you talk to veterinarians, they're racking up the vet bills, and the mutts are not.
You check the statistic on it. That's not true. Those dogs, they have a shorter lifespan. And let me give you another example. Since we're talking about canines and animals. You know what a mule is?
Mm-hmm.
What is it mixed with?
The donkey.
And a horse.
Yeah.
Unnatural. Dumb
they
mule.
loved each other, and then
man did that.
I'm sorry, Dr. Nora. I'm sorry. Carry on. I'm sorry.
Man did that. And even I want to go. Let me go a little. I'm not jumping all over the stuff, but let me go further. This may step on a few toes.
Uh-oh.
I want to go a little further.
Let's dance. Let's go.
Now, certain blood types carry certain personalities and certain hormones. I've discovered this. The A blood type stands for alpha, which is the male blood type that secretes male hormones. The B blood type is the beta, which secretes beta hormones, estrogen. Now, genetic confusion comes in with a single, not using a lot of medical terms, but single nucleotide polymorphism, where the genes cross up, you have deletions. When you have offspring by a different ethnic group, because first of all, every white person has a defect.
You mean like the defect when they go outside when it's 20 below zero and they do those plunges in the ocean?
Every white person has a single nucleotide polymorphism. It's the inability to make melanin, vitamin D deficiency, many mutations, over 300,000. And I'll send you some articles on it, but over 300,000 mutations. So Caucasians have, we taught in school that white people, and I got white friends, I tell them all the time, white people have recessive traits. Can we agree on that?
Absolutely.
What is recessive traits?
Not dominant, the opposite of.
No, it's defects.
Oh.
Yeah.
You defected, Alex.
I'm not trying to disrespect anyone. No. I have to state facts. I'm just saying, like,
Peggy done gave me her defects.
You defected.
I got to be very careful with this. I'm just saying, we have to know how to fix what's wrong. There's ways to fix this stuff, but we have to be honest about them. Like the inability to make melanin is a mutation on the TRY gene located on chromosome number 11. That is a defect in Caucasians. During the second trimester of pregnancy, they didn't develop the melanocytes, which produces melanin. Defect. The OCA gene, that's a defect. I'm just saying, on and on. It's a lot of defects that has been hidden. And when you admix with the wrong ethnic group, then you inherit their issues. All the mutations that they have, then you end up getting them. And I understand that animals, K-Down, you said it don't, but I'm telling you, like, majority of the when you admix and have offspring by, I say Caucasians, others don't have as many mutations in single nucleotide polymorphism, but Caucasians have the most.
So humans supposedly come from the cradle of Earth, which was in Africa.
Right.
So are we saying if the original people, I mean, they found Lucy, you know, one of the original humans, and how many people were supposed to come from Lucy and they're her ancestry. Are we saying that African original humans, which Black people are descendants of, they have no defects?
Well, I'm saying they have less. Like the original people have majority of the genes, and that's why they study Black people, because we have almost all of the genes with a blueprint. So you can be, the Genome Project was to study Black people DNA because we have less mutations.
Okay,
Jay-Z.
And this is not, again, this, but it's just, when you research what I'm saying, you will see that a lot. I should have put my phone on mute. Hold on for a second.
No problem.
Let me get this do not disturb on.
No problem. Okay, so you have a young lady who is, I wouldn't say contesting what you're saying, but she is disagreeing with some of the stuff that you're saying here. Okay. I'll just throw out, by the way, for y'all just tuning in, we have Dr. Tony Nora on with us. He's the inventor of this immune boosting formula. And the testimonies surrounding this immune boosting formula have been crazy. You know, it's been really crazy. And we're going to talk about some of the testimonies in a minute. But let me show you a few of the comments that the young lady has been putting up here, and then you can address them if you can, Tony. Okay. So wait, she was this is Pink Oracle Holmes here. She's questioning your understanding of these subjects you learned while in jail. So and I guess that's a legit question. She's wondering how and it was possible for you to gain all this knowledge of what you practice now while you were incarcerated.
Well, I studied basic stuff when I was incarcerated. 90% of my education came from when I was out. Studied medical book, and I've had doctors for 30 years, man, that asked me to teach them classes. Temple College, there's a professor over there. He's a professor in genetics. He asked me to teach courses.
Temple Texas College, by the way.
Temple Texas College. What I'm saying, but college professors, people all around the world. I've gotten calls from representatives of the President of the United States, kings and queens. So any doctor, any 30, 40, 50-year-old doctor, but I guarantee you, I can have a conversation with them and validate every single thing on a molecular level, what I'm saying.
Okay. She also says, has pharma, this is an interesting question. Has pharma approached you for your formula? Is it patented?
Yes, it is. The proprietary formulations are patented. And yes, they have. I had NFL offer me, NFL, the NBA friend of mine, he's a broker. And they have contacted me about they offered me $18 million last year for the formulation.
Okay. And so, and I've asked you this, and you could go ahead and expound. Why haven't you sold your patent or your formula to a bigger company so you can just cash out like everybody else does? Because if I had an immune boosting formula that changed people's lives, I'm cashing out, and I'll see y'all on the beach.
No. The biggest thing I don't want to happen is the prices to go crazy and the formulation to go down, the potency of the formulation. And they offered me a 70-30 split. 70 me, 30. I was thinking about doing the day of doing the contract. Then it came with an insertion, an amendment to the contract. Also, we want to do 50-50 revenue split with you as well. I'm like, no. Absolutely not. So I don't need to do deals with those people. I've been blessed to be able to exceed what they offer me.
Explain what this formula has done. It has been proven to done so far, proven to do so far. I'm sorry. You've had people, if you could just explain a few of the cases you had, because I was literally watching your Facebook page, I want to say last week, and it was the testimony of this woman whose husband, the woman was almost, I mean, the husband was almost like, I wouldn't say dying of cancer, but
he was almost out of there. Yes.
Yes, he was and he started taking this formula, and the doctors were basically like singing your praises. So if you could just say, like I said, you had somebody who was dying of cancer. What else did diabetes? You said it. So if you could
every single person. Oh, excuse me.
Go ahead.
Every single person that's been a diabetic been had 100% positive results, and most of them in less than a week. Every single person.
Okay.
Go ahead. The gentleman who had the cancer, 30 days, he was better. But I can't say the formulation cured him. It encouraged the body to heal holistically, is what I have to say.
Yeah, because legally you can't say it just downright heals.
No.
Right.
Not by. But,
so with every formula being different for every different person, what is the process you go through to figure out somebody's genetic makeup in order to procure whatever ingredients are needed to make their specific formula?
Understanding the blood types and genetics is important. I was just saying that. When alpha blood type is a dominant blood type. Beta blood type is a dominant but a female blood type. Omega is a recessive blood type that causes a lot of issues. So I understand the polarity of the blood types to be able to formulate the things that I need to be able to maximize the healing.
So where do all my races and ethnicities come in? I can account for and trace back 9 different ethnicities that I know of.
But there's no accurate way to do that, because you got to remember that genetics, the only way genetics works like this. When you do genealogy and genetics, they see what's missing, not what you have. So if you have the same 32 genes missing that the Europeans had, they'll say, okay, you must came from that area. They look at what you are missing, not what you have, if that makes sense. So say I start off with, just a simple example, 100 genes. And then the next ethnic group lose 5 of those genes, and it goes for a while. Then they'll say, everybody's missing that same 5 genes that he's missing, you're related. And then that's how genetics work. There's no accurate way to say, well, you into this people, or it's just you have the same mutations, the defects as they have. That's all genetics is. They measure by defects.
Okay.
Facts.
So do you have a lab? Like how do you order? Because you have this sounded like people's formula needs to be pretty specific for them. So like, what is the process, and how long would it take for said person just meeting you for the first time, and we do a consultation and whatever the process is to get started? How long before our meeting to my specific formula?
I could have the nurse to take your blood, send it off to the lab in a week. We could have your mutations or your adverse reactions to certain foods and which formulation maximize your healing capacity. I can custom and tailor make a formula for you that gives you the maximum healing capacity.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. I thought it was just the one. Wow. Okay. I didn't know you.
Yeah. That particular formulation. Yeah, that particular formulation right there has unipolar. It's multipolar formula. So I've created that understanding Caucasians, Neanderthals, Asians. So that's a multipolar formula. But however, I can tailor make a formulation. Like say I create a formula, 5 different formulas. We test this one against your blood and say, okay, this is giving her 30% healing capacity. That's not the one. We test your blood against another one. Okay, this is giving her 65% healing capacity. Next one, 85 to 90%. Okay, this is with no adverse reaction. This is the one for you. I can tailor make a formula based off of your genetics and your blood type.
Interesting.
Facts.
Interesting. Okay. So go ahead and give me your website. I'm going to flash it up here as well. Good Vibes, homeopathichealing.com. That is it, right?
That is it. Good Vibes, homeopathichealing.com. Yes, sir.
Now, tell me about this treatment. Now, you were talking about a new treatment that you also offer that they're doing on Star Trek or something that they did in the movie Star Trek or something like that. Break that down for me.
It's called photon. It's actually photon treatment. The light that they use whenever people get open wound, they go close it up with the red light. Well, this is called photobiomodulation therapy, photon treatment. It's clinically proven and FDA cleared for inflammation, expedite wound healing, brain fog, and many, many, many other things. The device I have is the $14,000 device, but I'm about to get the bigger one. It's $150,000.
You put it on layaway, man. Just put it on layaway.
I need to, but I cannot think of, and I got to be very careful with saying this, but I can't think of many diseases that it's not able to help with. I'm talking from inflammation, like there's not many diseases or ailments that I can't think of that this device can help with.
Something Alex challenged me on last week, and I couldn't really articulate it. But this was from something you said in the previous conversation, and it was that there's only one disease.
I can't go into that one, but there is only one disease.
Okay.
Because I've discovered that's how people may doubt what you say, but they always believe what you do. I've had 100% success rate. Facts.
Okay. So
and I'm saying that to say that I figured out that even alkaline, people saying alkaline is not the trueness of what it should, what they're looking for, or acidic. It's not. We regurgitate a lot of outdated information that we hear on the internet rather than do our microanalyze and do our own research. First thing, most people, inflammation and mucus is the cause of all diseases, which is not true. It's not.
Okay. What is the cause of all diseases? Or can you say that?
I can't say that right now. I mean, that's something that I've discovered, but I can't go off into the intricacies of that right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Please, when you're able to, please let me know.
I will let you know. But I'm just saying, like, I'm sure everybody, nothing against Dr. Sabi or anyone, but everyone have heard that inflammation and mucus is the cause of all diseases. Say the young lady here punched me in the face, and I got inflammation and mucus started running out of my eye. What was the cause?
A hit, like a big hit. I don't know what the
blunt force.
There you go.
So the punch was an action. The inflammation and mucus is a reaction, cause and the effect. And so a lot of our people, we on the on the train saying that mucus and inflammation is the cause of all diseases, but it's not. That's just an immune response. Your body responding to something else that's causing the issues.
Right. Gotcha. Alex, you got more? I can't wait to break down this whole one disease thing because
I want to.
Yeah.
I really need to, but it's not the time right now because if I do, I'm just saying I need to reveal it to our people first.
Right.
I'm just saying the most I say our people, meaning people that's really gonna do the right thing with it.
Yeah.
Not just saying particular, but people that's really gonna, not gonna monetize it, they're not gonna hide the facts about it. I just need it to be to help people be out there.
So does age play a factor?
Do it again?
Does age play a factor in anything? My dad will be 84 next month. I know he's a man as well, but would there be a different formula for said 84-year-old man that if all things were equal, then would be a 44-year-old man?
No, the formulations are created based off of your genetics and your blood type. So there's no. I've had people. I had a lady. This Lily. She's almost 80 years old. The one had kidney issues. Her GFR went from 60 to I think it was 80. She told us, and her sight just came a lot. She's 80 years old.
Interesting. So that same young lady, and so first of all, if you can just tell me the reach that you have in terms of how many people who has bought your product from what countries, and what do you say to the skeptics? Because there's people who are probably watching this right now, like our friend who's been commenting, Miss Pink Oracle. She basically is like,
that's okay.
Yeah. She said, hold on, what is it? What happens? Wait, where is it? She said she just doesn't believe anything, which is here it is right here. I don't know if you can see it in the screen, Tony.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. So break down, what do you say to the skeptics as it relates?
I have people that then bought the product one time and they come back and buy 20 bottles from Kuwait, from Canada, the UK. I did over $100,000 in sales in 10 days. So people may doubt, which is just those that don't believe, just gonna miss out on the boat. But the ones that have tried the product, the actions speak louder than words, and people may doubt what you say, but they'll always believe what you do.
Don't forget, just check out his website. If anybody is, I'll use the word again, skeptical about, the results or what he's saying, check it out for yourself, do your own research as well. You know what I'm saying? And go to his website and you'll be able to check it out. Miss Skepti, Miss Dupree, what do you think? What did he say that made a little sense to you? And what did he say that is, you're like,
I do like that regional things are supposed to be what is best for a certain people. They do talk about how wherever you live, you try to get local honey because it's in the area and and it's being pollinated from things of where you are. They do talk about people, especially it's been widely talked about in the Mediterranean diet. But being Italian, that's a thing too. You eat locally, and there's certain foods that you will eat if you're in the southern region, and there's certain foods that are specifically, you can tell if this meal is prepared, it's a northern Italian meal. So I like that aspect of you, there being some match, there being some really good healing match to where you're from, the nutrients of the land. There being a good, healthy match.
Something you also told me, Tony, and I want you to share with them as well. I know you said Black people aren't supposed to eat meat and white folks aren't supposed to eat vegetables. No. Expound on that if you can.
No vegetables?
What I just said, like, Caucasians makes too much stomach acid first because they're carnivores by nature. They came from the Caucasus Mountain, no bananas, coconut trees, a cold climate. So their environment was meat. And the hypothalamus recalibrated so they make enough stomach acid to digest animal protein. So if you take a herb or a plant and give it to a person that's a carnivore that's making a lot of stomach acid, the stomach acid will annihilate the nutrients before you even get a chance to absorb them back. And just the opposite, just like I said about the elephant, if you give an elephant that don't make enough stomach acid meat, well, he don't make enough stomach acid, sit in his stomach and rot and turn into what people call cancers. So he would die from toxicity, and the tiger, lion, or a person who can't, that's a carnivore, would die from deficiency. These are facts.
I'm wondering, where does the vegan diet factor in here? What group of people benefit most from vegan diet, and what group of people should steer clear of that?
Because you're vegan, right, Tony? You're vegan, right?
I don't eat any meat. The people of hue, Black people, are herbivores first by nature. So we're not supposed to be eating any meat anyway. Period. Again, we like the elephant, the gorilla, or the rabbit, and we don't need animal protein. Our body makes our own protein, or what they call proteins. We don't need animal protein.
So we don't even, so vegetarian all the way, sliding all the way to that end of vegan, all of that is good for
people of hue.
People of hue.
Whether that be Hispanic, mostly true people of hue. And I don't know if you know exactly what I mean when I say people of hue. The word HUE means color. So back in the day, Caucasians used to say he's a colored man. He's a colored man. So if you put the word HUE in front of man, what does it spell?
Human.
A human. So the original human is a man of hue, and anybody else is a non-hue. So that's what the original terminology of And then you have HUE, and you make it a compound word. The E drops off, and it's HUMAN, a human, a man of hue. So if somebody telling me I'm a colored man, that means they don't have any color, so they don't have any hue. I used to see a lot of Caucasians, I'm not a human, I'm not a human. Didn't quite understand it. We say they aliens. No, she don't have hue. She's not a human. He's not a human, and she's not a hue woman. Caucasian man, Caucasian woman, Neanderthal man, Neanderthal woman, and man of hue. Hue man and a hue woman. So that's when I say hue, so you can have a clear understanding of what I mean.
Gotcha. Makes a whole bunch of sense. Yes. Again, check out his website. It's right there. Good Vibes Homeopathic Healing. And you also have water.
I recently just started the water company up. The water comes this week, and I have alkaline 9.5 to 10 water. So,
okay. Cool. Yeah. So you're just handling all things natural and healing and just to improve the body.
The goal is to be a blessing to all people.
Yes. Yes.
Black, white, purple, green, aliens, anybody that need help.
All that. Yeah. Check out his website. Once again, that's goodvibeshomeopathichealing.com. Mr. Tony Nora, man, thank you. I appreciate you so very
much.
Yeah.
Yes, God bless you.
So I just want to let you know that, Alex, you are genetically confused. I knew that from the start. But
totally jacked up. That's what happened when the races mix. You just you get together all willy-nilly and things happen.
Thank y'all for checking us out. Search us wherever you listen to your podcast, and we'll check out every Wednesday night right here for See What Had Happened Was. I'm Trey the Chocolate Jack.
I'm Alex Dupree.
Have a great week. Have a great one.